Okay, so here are my favorite tips. So the peripheral nervous system is simply all of the nerve cells that are not part of the brain and spinal cord. The brain and spinal cord are central, and then any nerves that come out of that central nervous system are referred to as peripheral nervous systems, and there are three of them. Peripheral just means on the side or on the edge. So, it's on the edge, it's on the side, or even next to and outside. So that's why these outside of the central nervous system systems are called peripheral. So, one of your body's very important peripheral nervous systems is the somatic nervous system. The somatic nervous system is responsible for bringing in information from all of your sensory organs, whether that's your fingertips, your eyeballs, your ears, the tip of your tongue, anything that can feel and sense the outside world. Those important messages are carried by the somatic nervous system to the brain where they get processed. And the somatic nervous system also does another crucial job. When your brain creates a movement command, let's say my brain is going to command me to wiggle this finger, the nerve impulse that contained the instructions for what to do to wiggle the finger had to travel from my motor cortex down the brain, out the spinal cord, and all the way up the arm to where the movement took place. So it's crucial. It's handling, bringing in all your sensation and creating all your body movement. So, how can we remember that it's named the somatic nervous system? I think that's ancient Greek. I think that's in ancient Greek. It could be Latin. I'm so sorry. I don't know. But soma means body, and this system is what helps you move your body and feel your body. But I think an even more helpful memory trick is to look at the letters in the beginning of the word. So go ahead and when you read the word somatic, let that first S stand for sensory because it's sensory neurons in the somatic nervous system that allow you to perceive the whole world. And then when you move further into the word and see that M, think movement because movement commands are the other main important info carried in the nerves of the somatic nervous system. So hopefully focusing on sensory and movement when you read that word helps you remember what that particular system does. My trick for remembering the enteric nervous system is pretty simple. The enteric nervous system is the sort of independent, loose nerve net that surrounds all of the digestive tract and manages the process of digestion. Conveniently, enteric starts with E, and so does eat. So I just remember eat when I see enteric, and it reminds me that it's the one managing digestion. So last we have the autonomic nervous system, which is in charge of how the body spends its energy. The way that the autonomic nervous system manages your body doesn't have much to do with these big skeletal muscles that you can consciously command. It has to do with all the internal structures that you don't really have conscious control over. For instance, it controls how dilated your pupils are, how moist or dry your mouth feels, all kinds of internal aspects of digestion, respiration. It controls your heartbeat, it controls your blood pressure. So there's all kinds of sort of invisible inside aspects of your body's function that the autonomic nervous system is in charge of. And it does this without your conscious control. So no matter how hard you focus, you can't lower your blood pressure with your brain, except for next week, I'm teaching you a hack related to that. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so how do we remember that it's the autonomic nervous system that manages the body's internal processes automatically? This is kind of easy. Autonomic really sort of sounds like automatic. And in fact, when they named the system, the word meant something much more like automatic. So it should be called the automatic nervous system. And that shows you what it does. It manages the body's automatic unconscious control of all the organs inside you. Within the autonomic nervous system, there's two divisions, and this gets back to Xanity's question. how do we remember which is which? We know we have one division that's responsible for generating the fight, flight, freeze response that makes a ton of coordinated changes inside the body to get the body ready for action. It dilates your pupils so you can bring in more light. It turns off the digestive process so that energy isn't being wasted on processing food, and it creates muscle tension. It raises your blood pressure, your heart rate, and respiration so that your body is just like really ready to go, whether that's going to be defending yourself, running away, or like tensely freezing and kind of waiting to see what happens next. So the sympathetic division is responsible for fight, flight, freeze. The parasympathetic division, on the other hand, is responsible for the flip side response. So during times when your body is not under any particular threat, it needs to reverse the fight, flight, freeze arousal and redirect all that energy that was going into getting you prepared for, escaping danger into internal repair work. So it's basically relaxing and restoring elements inside the body. So how do we remember the distinction between these two? Sympathetic starts with S, and so does stress. And the sympathetic division's job is to mobilize the body to defend itself in a stressful situation. So associate stress with sympathetic, and you won't forget which system is which. The parasympathetic division starts with P, and so does peace. And the parasympathetic division's job is to come online during peaceful times when you're resting, relaxing, doing a low key activity in a safe, familiar place, when there's just not a high likelihood of threat or danger of any kind. When you're in that kind of peaceful state, then the parasympathetic division gets its chance to come in and do the crucial repair work that it's responsible for. Hope this helps.